Okay, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do a little story time here on how I found out that my husband was cheating on me with his coworker. So I should say, first off, my husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband, traveled for work. So he was always somewhere, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, wherever he was. We live in New Jersey, so he was always away, and that was causing a lot of issues between us. We also just had my 4-year old diagnosed with autism at 2 years old. So this was like 2 years ago that this all started, like I started questioning things. So he started going away more and more, like as if when the company would ask him, he would just volunteer all the time. Found it really odd. And then he started mentioning this woman that was his project manager at all these sites. And I found it really weird the way he talked about her. Okay, so this is part two of how I found out my husband was cheating with his coworker. So I found it really, really weird that the way he was talking to me about her, like, oh my God, this she's so cool. She's such a hard worker and I really want to do what she does. And it was just like odd. And then he would start saying to me like, "Oh, I think you guys would really get along. Like you guys are like you would totally get along with her. I think she's just so cool." And he would like, I'm like, I don't care. Like, what about me? Like, do you pay attention to me? You're telling me all about this woman. I don't care. So literally a year went on where on and off I was getting really weird vibes about this woman, but I couldn't do anything because they were traveling and he was working and he was providing and yeah, I knew something might be going on, but I mean, this woman knew about me. Okay, part three of how I found out my husband was cheating with his coworker. So, like I was saying, she knew about me because he would call me while he was on the road while she was with him. Like, there was multiple times where he was in his truck and she was in the truck, and he would be like, "Oh yeah, she's here. Like, say hi." And I'd be like, "This is fucking weird, right?" Okay, but here I am, taking care of our son at home. He's thousands of miles away, and all I have is my trust in him. Him telling me that nothing's happening, but that was not the case. So, fast forward a few months, I got pregnant, okay? We tried for a year, the whole year, guys. We tried to have a baby for the whole year. I finally got pregnant. When I first got pregnant, he freaked out. Like, I found it so odd. He like was like, "Oh, I don't know if this is the right thing for us to do," and just saying crazy, crazy stuff. Like for part four, okay? Part four of how I found out my husband was cheating with his coworker. So shortly after I found out that I was pregnant with my second, he left his phone home one day. The music was turned on it. He was going out with his buddies, so he left it in the bathroom where he was shaving and everything. And he ran and went to go get us burritos down the road before he was going to go out with his buddies. Well, his phone kept going off. He left it here. And when I looked in the phone, it was her. And she was letting him know that she was going to be a little late to their date that night. So I was 4 months pregnant. He walked in the door. I literally, like, I threw the phone at him. I started freaking out. I never text the woman. To this day, I have never confronted this woman. I will have my day, but I am cool, calm, and collected. Like for part five. Part five of how I found out my husband was cheating with his coworker. So after I found the phone and found out that a lot was going on, he had every excuse in the book, which I'm sure you've seen in the other videos that I've posted. But being I was 4 months pregnant and a stay-at-home mom, I decided to give it a shot. Within a month, I had people come to me telling me that they have seen him with her. He brought him to a bar that my stepfather frequents. He brought her to the old restaurant I used to bartend at. He brought her, oh, I don't know, probably tons of places. The best part was that my cousin caught him on an airplane cuddling with her in Georgia while they were on a work trip together, that he told me that he was not with her that time. She wasn't there, but he got caught in the airplane with her. Like for part 6, this is probably 10 parts. Part 6 of how I caught my husband cheating with his coworker. From there, he like continued to deny it. Like he was like, "Oh no, I wasn't on the airplane with her." Like, yes, you were. Then my brother-in-law also works for the same company, so he had people coming up to him at work saying, "Isn't your brother-in-law married? Doesn't he have a baby?" Because he's been in and out of this woman's room every time they're away together. His excuses for that were like, they had to go over stuff for the next day. And then why are you sneaking? Because you guys aren't supposed to be in the same room together. From there, I had people see him in his truck parked random places with her. So listen, the proof was there. But can you imagine that this man still denies it to this day? To this day. Like for part 7, and I think I'm wrapping it up, okay? Part 7 of how I caught my husband cheating with his coworker. So once I found out all this stuff, I had just had, this is fast forward a few months, obviously. I had just had my son. I had him 2 weeks, and I kicked this MF out of my house because I was waiting. I was just waiting till I had this baby. He didn't want anything to do with him. He didn't want anything to do with the kids. He was on his phone while I was pushing our child out. Okay, guys? Okay? So I kicked him out, and that was like a year and a month ago. And honestly, it has been the best. He really isn't involved in our kids' lives. He hasn't been here in months. I don't have to see him. I deal with our lawyers. And life goes on, right? Part 8 of how I found my husband cheating with his coworker. I was gonna wrap it up with part 7, but I had a couple more things I just wanted to say. I am putting this out here because it makes me feel like I am doing something completely helping me heal. No, we are not together. Yes, our divorce is almost final. Things are good, guys. Things are really good. Yes, I struggle. I have 2 boys by myself, one with autism. It's extremely hard, but the fact that I went through all that and the fact that I was able to leave the situation, I'm proud of myself. So yes, to all the comments, we're getting divorced. Okay, I filed for divorce. Everything's being worked out, guys. I'm almost free, bitches. Thank you guys so much for watching this crazy story